Jacob, mate, what are we driving today?
It's a Great Wall Cannon X.
Oh, a Great Wall Cannon X. You know, the last experience I had with a Great Wall was about 2012. I went with Dad to a Great Wall dealership. Dad asked the salesperson, would you buy a Great Wall? And no joke, the salesperson just stood there for about 10 seconds, didn't say anything, but was smiling ear to ear. No, he wouldn't. But I think that's changed, Jacob.
Definitely changed.
So much so, I am confident that this can steal the sales of a Ford Ranger. Ooh, controversial, I know. Clickbaity title alert. It's actually not. When you see what this thing can do for the price, it blows your mind. At least my mind. I've got a small mind. You got a big mind?
Thanks, bro.
I've been told by my commenters
Big brain energy.
Not to attack you so much.
Good.
You're really just fine looking man.
Just fantastic.
So is this thing worth around 44,000 Australian dollars drive away for this top spec X, guys? The answer is a solid resounding yes, as you'll see. And Jacob, where's the best place to finance your next car?
Driver. Click the link in the description.
Yes, good boy. Click the link in the description below or the pinned comment. Driver is the absolute best place to compare finance deals. Everything is tailored for you. There are no hidden fees. You can get pre-approved in 60 seconds and there's no impact to your credit score. It's a really, really great way to finance your next car. All right, let's get into the review. So one of the things you'll notice about the Great Wall is that it's kind of a jack of all trades, master of none. I really like the way that this thing looks, but I don't think it's the best looking ute out there. No, you shut up. You shut up. Kookaburra's laughing at me all the time. It does have some pretty nice looking headlights here. I like the daytime running light there too. It's also sequential. Got sequential indicators. That's pretty awesome, actually. Look at this enormous grille. This is very Chinese market, but it also makes it look quite masculine. I quite like it a lot. Also, a giant Great Wall logo. You've also got some sensors behind the center there, so that's pretty cool. And then down the bottom, you got a little bit of a bash plate, though it's plastic, so I wouldn't go bash plating it around. Let's talk about the side. Okay, so coming to the side, what is there to like? Well, I actually really like these 18-inch alloy wheels here. They are also wrapped in really good tires. These are Cooper Discoverer HTS. Highway, yeah. But they're actually pretty damn good, pretty grippy, and yeah, good set of tires. So that's always good to see. You've got a faux engine exhaust here. Doesn't do anything, of course, it's all blocked up. 360 camera, this has one of the best 360 cameras on any ute. Second to the Ford Ranger, but the Ford Ranger Wildtrak is like 30 grand more. So you get what you pay for, or really you don't these days. You so pay a premium, Look, you got keyless entry and you've also got keyless go too. Got some nice side steps. You got some huge roof rails. That's
Is that
what
why
they're called.
you said huge twice?
Yeah, because I forgot the word.
Damn, that leaf spring suspension.
Going off.
You hear it?
It's not as bad as it looks. When you're actually driving this thing, as we will in a moment, it's pretty damn comfortable. I guess it kind of shows. Privacy glass there as well, and you've also got a sports bar here as standard, which is pretty damn cool, man.
It's nice.
But
good ute.
My favorite part is the back. Let's talk about it. Okay, so coming to the back. Now, the Ford Ranger that I reviewed, and you should definitely check out the review after this one, had like a side step here or here somewhere. And they were really proud of it because they're like, well, people usually go like this to get up into the back, blah, blah, blah. I want to show you why this is my favorite tub on a ute. That's a big call, right? So if we use this here and we pull it down, first of all, it's got gas struts, helps to lower it, and it's really light as well. Not quite as light as the Ford Ranger, but still pretty good. Here, if we press this, you get a step. And look how easy it is to get in. That is how you do it. Once you're back here, it's actually pretty decent size, 1.5 meters wide, just over 1.5 meters, exactly the same length, just a bit over for the length. So it's pretty decent. I don't know if you can get a Euro pallet back here, but regardless, there isn't a lot of space and I wouldn't be surprised if you could. Not quite as wide as the Ford Ranger by like 2 centimeters, but it is longer. So that is pretty damn good as well. And then of course we can get down pretty easy. I just hold on to that, step back, ka-chow. Ka-chow, how easy is that? I really like the tail lights. They've got like this 3D effect to them as well. There's not much you can do with tail lights on the back of a ute because by law they have to be on a fixed part of the car, but they do a pretty good job. Keeps the chrome, Great Wall badge, Great Wall Motor badge because you need to have 2 Great Wall Motor badges, but at least there's not 5 like on the back of the Haval H6 GT. And again, go watch that review after this one. And you've got a nice step there as well if you just kind of want to reach around and grab something in from there. I really, really like the way that this thing looks and its practicality, man.
It's ticking all the boxes.
For 43 grand.
It's kind of mind-blowing.
Not only is it mind-blowing, it's so much better value already than a Toyota HiLux for 70 grand. And as you'll see in the interior, it just blows that out of the water. And a Ford Ranger, yeah, of course, it's nicer, but not that much, man. In fact,
$30,000 nicer?
No. Let's check it out in the interior because that's where my mind is blown. Okay, so what about the interior? Look, it's not going to knock your socks off with its design. You know, it's a neat and tidy design. I like it in that sense, but yeah, it's not the most beautiful, I will say. But what it does do very well is build quality. Everything is really, really solid. Nothing rattles, nothing shakes. I've seen more shakes in recent Japanese and Korean cars than I have in this car. So that does say a lot about Chinese manufacturing these days. They have definitely upped the game. Material choice is amazing. You have soft touch materials everywhere. Look at this diamond quilted leather on the door. And here you got soft touch door handles. You've got more here, the seats, okay? This was my biggest complaint in the Haval H6 GT, which again is from the same company as Great Wall, but obviously it's an SUV. That car had really nice looking seats, but it was uncomfortable. I was really worried because that was last week and I was like, God, I've got to endure this for another week with this. But completely different. So no, you can't raise up the bolstering at the bottom, but you get a lot more support for your legs. So on longer journeys, this thing is really, really comfortable. It also looks amazing. You've got this, again, quilted leather seats here on the X. If you go for the L, you get fake leather, but it doesn't really matter anyway. Actually, Jacob, which would you take? The X with all the extra features or the L?
If I was getting it for free, I'd take the X. Yeah. But honestly, I'd probably take the L.
Interesting.
This would be a workhorse.
I think we're different because I'm like, I just need everything, you know? I need absolutely fully loaded.
Of course you do, Matthew.
But yeah, super happy with these seats. They are very, very comfortable. The steering wheel is really nice. It's a leather unit. It's got buttons to control absolutely everything, including your adaptive cruise control and your lane keep assist. This has some of the best self-driving capabilities in the business. So it's really nice on a highway. It's also nice and quiet in here because of all these soft touch materials. I'm super impressed, man.
It's blew me away.
It's not all roses though. The infotainment display, it's not the worst, but here is where they've cut a couple of costs. This doesn't have digital radio. It doesn't have built-in navigation. Not that I care either way, because I can stream radio if I want to through my Apple CarPlay, or I can use maps and Waze through Apple CarPlay. So 99% of people aren't actually going to be missing out on anything, especially if you use it the way it really should be used. It's also now not the biggest in the segment, though it is towards the top end. The biggest now goes to the Ford Ranger, but again, $30,000 cheaper. It's like spec for spec.
That's like 3 big TVs.
It's just so stupid, man. It's so stupid. How do others get away with it? Or how do they do it? Because they're not cutting costs in like many areas at all.
Manufacturing.
Yeah, it's just cheaper. Economies of scale. Digital instrument cluster in front of you is also absolutely god awful. Graphics aren't that great. You can see enough information, but once you're over like 40 kilometers an hour, you have to hold OK. Wait. Didn't work. Hold it again. Oh, now I can see the menu in the center and I can go through a bunch of different menus. But it doesn't last like that. It times out after a few seconds. It is not intuitive that you have to press OK. For the first couple of days I was driving this, I thought I honestly thought the digital instrument cluster was just frozen. Because I was like, it's not working, it's not working, it's not moving. No, you just have to hold OK. Not that it says it anywhere, except for maybe the owner's manual. That's pretty silly, man. You've got a couple of USB-A points here, a 12-volt socket. Think about this design. You've got a USB port up here for a dash cam mounted up there like that. Storage within here is really good too. So as I said, you've got this nice center armrest. Under here, you've got plenty of storage. You can take out Jacob's dream catcher water bottle. You've got a little storage area there, but we'll slide that away. There you got a couple of cup holders. You got pretty decent door bins too. Not the greatest design, but they're okay. And the glove box is also a pretty decent size. Did I mention, by the way, Jacob?
What?
The seats are heated. It is a bit annoying because you've got to press a button here and then it brings up a menu. and then you can change it. But you know what? I'd rather have it than not. You've also got your air conditioning controls not in the screen, so I'm very appreciative of that. You've got a weird shifter here, but you know what? It works, whatever. Drive mode selector there. You can also change your steering weight using this button here. I don't know. I don't really use it. I just kind of keep it on light or comfort and just go with the flow. And this is a proper off-roader. You do have a low-range transfer case and you have a rear locking differential. So that's pretty damn cool. Again, fully loaded, man, 43 grand. Blows my mind. Let's talk about the back seats. What?
You know what you also get?
What?
Place to put your sunnies.
Oh, how can I forget? Up there. By the way, Jacob, what should the people do?
Subscribe.
Subscribe, dancing baby, dancing baby. Let's talk about the back seats. So before we get into the back, I need to show you these features. So like a lot of utes, you can lift that up and put it down and then you get a flat loading area. Fine, cool, but look how easy it is to pull up the back seats. One-handed operation, look. I'm so impressed by that. It's the little things, man. It just means that they've thought about this and they've thought about the packaging and what people actually want, and that is ease of use. You also get the same quilted leather seats back here. That's really nice, but let's clamber in. I'm 5'10". I have so much leg room, heaps of headroom, heaps of toe room here. Yeah, you got a little bit of scratchy material there, like every other ute, but you've got more quilted leather here and some leather trim here as well. By the way, the speakers in this thing, a bit poo. A bit on the poo end.
Very much so.
From poo to moo, it's poo. But you do get a couple of air vents back here. That's awesome. You've got a USB-A port. And Jacob, you can only get this on the $70,000 Toyota HiLux SR5, which comes with a plastic steering wheel, by the way. It's got an inverter. So yes, you can run household plugged items through there. It's not a huge output, 120 watts, but that's still pretty damn decent.
So you can toast your bread while you drive to work.
Well, probably not. But you can use a laptop, so that's impressive. You've also got map pockets back here too. That's pretty good. I am loving it. I think for the price that you pay and the quality of the interior, I am so impressed. It's just on another level to when I saw the car back in 2012. Obviously it wasn't this, it was just some random Great Wall ute, and it was god-awful, man. God-awful.
This renews my faith.
It genuinely does. Again, guys, keep in mind that this is $30,000 or so cheaper. Look what you get. Dude, look at this. Gas struts to hold up the bonnet. You don't have to have a stupid little manual thing. That is not cost saving like you'll find in pretty much every other ute, even $30,000 more. But you do kind of get what you pay for with the engine. So it's a 2-litre, 4-cylinder turbo diesel. That's all fine, but it doesn't put out much power. 120 kilowatt of power, 400 Newton meters of torque. It's pretty much class not leading. What's that?
Class trailing.
Yeah, it's class bloody trailing, okay? It's not quite as bad as it seems on paper, but it's also not much better. In fact, Jacob, let's test how fast this thing is in a launch.
Said no one ever.
All right, Fred, we're gonna launch it. We're gonna launch this bad boy, okay? What do you think it's gonna do 0 to 100?
First of all, why?
Why not?
Secondly, 14 seconds.
Oh, God, you are a pessimist. Yeah, it's not fast, okay? I'm gonna say 11.8 seconds.
Oh, it's kind of close to what I said.
Kind of.
Yeah.
But also not. Fist me good.
Let's go.
Brake boost launch.
Oh,
Nice shove in the back.
it's going. Oh,
Oh, God.
I'm so wrong. I'm so wrong. I'm so wrong.
Oh! Why am I so good? Why am I so good? Okay?
You know why?
Why?
Because you always guess second. You set up the game to make yourself win.
You think every... Look, we're gonna have to cut here, right? You think... All right.
You're in sport mode? Whoa, feel the torque, bro.
Bro, your door is open. Close your door.
I thought it had soft touch.
Close your door!
Dude, you know how hard it was to open that with you driving 80 k's an hour? I had to like bench press the a whole car.
All right, friend.
All right,
Driving safely in the Great Wall Cannon X.
Pretty comfortable experience.
Where's the wall? Where is the wall?
Where's the grate?
I was promised the Great Wall, and I don't see one. So, what I'm going to do, out of anger, is I'm going to downshift, floor it.
Ooh.
Look, it's a little bit anemic.
It's a little bit slow.
It doesn't have the most power, okay? It just doesn't. How does it handle?
Surprisingly all right.
Surprisingly decent. We are in sport mode, so we're in sport mode. So it does make the steering wheel a little bit heavier. Throttle response,
Not there.
not much. But I would say it's consistently bad. But that's okay. It's not claiming to be the fastest. In fact, I'm pretty sure it's claiming to be one of the slowest in the class. But it feels fine, especially when you're just driving it around normally and not being an idiot. You know, it's pretty good, actually.
You know what, though? Who cares?
Who cares?
This thing's comfortable,
Comfy.
and it's got a nice cab on it.
Speaking of comfy, that's not what we're doing right now.
No.
Suspension is pretty good. I've got no complaints. There's no weight in the back and it's still very comfy, which is pretty surprising considering that this sits on leaf spring suspension, one of the oldest suspension setups. Twisties, man, you know what this does to me. This makes me feel all sorts of things.
Oh, this is not the intended purpose of this car.
Nope,
Oh, here we go.
but it's my intended purpose. That's the whole reason that Matt brand cars exist, so I can give cars the sauce.
Oh,
Look, it's actually do that pretty well.
I mean, I feel like there's less body roll than in the Havel.
Yeah, there is. The Havel H6 GT. Go watch that review after this one. Did not like that Great Wall product as much as this one, that's for sure.
No.
But it's quite quiet in here in general, especially for a Ute. It feels more SUV than it does Ute. And I think for $30,000, pretty much on the dot less than, say, a Ford Ranger Wildtrak, which is frankly similarly spec'd, you're doing pretty well.
Value-wise, 100%.
Value-wise. It's not claiming to be the best in anything, but I will say that it does a pretty damn good job in a lot of things. Worst part about it being the speed, but ZF 8-speed transmission.
Yeah, it seems very smooth. I feel like it fills a hole in the segment.
It does fill a hole. Your hole.
Your hole, bro.
Tickle
Speaking
my
of holes.
pickle. We're at Saucy Corner, bro. Brake boost launch.
Ooh.
Oh. It's a bit of a shove in the back. Okay. Yeah, look. Come on, baby. Do you know why we're not just fishtailing out and oversteering,
Why?
Jacob? Because even though this is, well, I've never had to do that,
Oh,
turn the steering wheel that much. Even though this is rear-wheel drive, it is a on-demand all-wheel drive. So it'll send power to the front wheels when it needs to, very much like the new Ford Ranger or Amarok. It's really good. It's essentially a permanent all-wheel drive in a way, although it's not really.
not
But
technically.
still, that's good. It means you actually get lots of traction when you're doing stupid shit like that.
I mean, it feels very stable.
It feels
say.
really stable. It's quiet in here. Again, not much power, but it rides really nicely. It's comfy. I don't know, man. I feel like they've done something here.
They really have.
I used to laugh at Great Wall. Like, genuinely. I would go to the dealer, I would drive past, stop on the middle of the road, I'd be like this. Ha ha! Ha ha ha! Anyone who bought a Great Wall, right? I would buy one. Genuinely.
I think they've changed. Times have changed.
Times have changed. There's no need to just bash a car because it's made in China.
Exactly.
Anyway, should we get into our final thoughts?
Let's.
Okay, so final thoughts on the GWM Cannon X. Jacob, you first.
I think it's great value for money, nice interior, and drives smoothly.
Yeah, I couldn't have said it better myself. I think that this is a destroyer of competition. The only reason that people aren't going to buy this is because it's Chinese, but when it's coming with a 7-year warranty and 5 years of roadside assist, you're pretty well protected. Even the Toyota HiLux has just been recalled for its diesel particulate filter. So no car is safe if it's got an internal combustion engine. I love it, man. I really, really like this thing.
Really nice.
Couldn't believe I did, considering how much I disliked the Haval H6 GT SUV. Anyway, thank you guys very much for watching. Subscribe if you're new, like the video, and comment down below. What do you think of the GW Cannon X? I like it, man. I really, really like it.
Yeah, let us know.
Yeah. And finance, use the link below. Ciao for now.
Driver.